Now this is a very different What's It Like Now video. We're not on location, we're still in the very Wirral Channel studios because we're here today to try and find this location. Now the truth is, I don't know exactly where it is, so we don't know where to go, but that's all part of the journey. Now if you know where this is, that's great. Follow along here and see if I'm going in the right direction. And if you don't know either, then let's try and figure this out as we go through here. The only bit of information we have, which was I think it was found on a Facebook post, is the church in the background. Now the church in the background is St Oswalds, I think it's called, which is in Bidston village, the old Bidston village. And this is what it looks like today. So just so we know where we're talking about. So now we can tell that this is the church. Just look at the shape of the top and the flagpole on the top of it there. And we can see the flagpole in the painting as well. A few of the things we're trying to go on is maybe the angle of the sun. Now this is a painting, so it obviously takes a lot longer to paint than somebody to take a photograph. But predominantly is the sun to the left of the church. It seems to be brighter than the other side. Which river is this? There are plenty of rivers around there. The River Fender and the River Birket. Could it be one of those? Or another one which has been diverted or dried up at this point. So let's go on to Google Maps before we go anywhere and have a look at the church. Now here we are. Looking down on the Bidston village itself, and there's Bidston Moss and Wallasey New Brighton in the background. We can go into the church here. Now if we look at the painting, you can see we're not looking at the side edge of the church tower. We're looking almost directly off one of the corners, which would basically mean where we're looking from is one of four directions roughly. So it'll either be A in this direction here, or if we get it at this angle, in that direction there. Third possibility, and there is a river down this way, is that angle there. And the fourth possibility, I don't think is a possibility because there's a hill, more like this angle. There's Bidston Hill in the way, the observatory is on the top of it, and there's no hill in the background of the painting. Now let's start off looking over in this direction. Now of course in the distance is the M53 and the big curving slip roads of Junction 2 onto the Morton Spur. So let's go and have a look over there, see if anything resembles the photograph we have in the corner. Now the only thing over here is the river here. This is the River Fender, and this is actually my first thought of where it could be. Now obviously this has been re-diverted since the motorway has been built and more cultivated maybe for farming and things like that over the past 100 years. But this is the first possibility of where I thought. But I thought we could actually go back to some old maps, just because the mapping of that time period, late 1800s, early 1900s, is probably more attuned to this painting that we have. So we go back to an old map, we may be able to line it up a little bit better. Now looking on a modern day map, we can see the River Fender, the main river down the middle, just to the side of the motorway there, and the drain ditches. And this is the T-junction of the drain ditch that we just looked at before. And this is what it's like today. And let's go and have a look at an old map exactly overlaid over this map. Now, not much to see here, but this is an 1851 map. And we virtually see nothing has changed with the river being here with this drainage ditch off to the side. So maybe the farming cultivation was done a long time ago. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see Bidston village over in the distance and the church in question over there. But the other thing about the painting as well is we have the line of trees and a small pond in it as well. And at this time period, there is no line of trees that I can tell, and there's no pond, and certainly the river doesn't go in that sort of direction, looking over to the top right hand side. So I really don't think that this is the place here. Now let's move on to the angle sort of the northwest of the church tower, Bidston village being here, and this would put us in this direction, where there is a bridge now, with a bridge that supports the railway line from Bidston itself over towards West Kirby. Now the bridge in the picture is no railway line bridge, but maybe it housed the same location. So let's go back to an old map to see what it was like then. And now here, this exact overlay, it's a bit more of a complex junction to what it is today, with different tributaries feeding the River Fender. But of course, on the painting, we can see a row of trees. That could be this line here, of course. There's a pond which isn't labelled on the map. But of course, the river is sort of going off in a slightly wandering direction. So it's a possibility, but I don't think it's in this particular angle. Now moving on to another, the southwesterly angle to the church is going up the hill to the lighthouse on the top, and there's no way that it can be that. There's a big forest here, the lighthouse in the distance, no rivers whatsoever, so it can't be that either. Which leads into the northeast direction from the church tower, in this direction, going over here. Now, well, yes, this is a more prominent feature. You can see a river here, and a bridge. I'm sure this represents a bridge. And the river curving to the right now, with the Bidston village in the distance here. Now, if the painting was took from here, maybe this line is a kind of footpath to go across the bridge. The river then runs to the right, as in the painting, and of course we have this pond here, which is certainly labelled here, and this line, I'm sure, must represent a line of trees next to the pond. So looks like, I think from this, what do you think? But I think we've found it from here. There is an old school here, which can't be seen in the painting, but that's just off the side there. Is this where we're looking at? And if so, where is this pond and where is this bridge now? Now, the best thing we can do is overlay a modern day map and see where it is. Well, this is quite liberating. I mean, from the calculation is right. From the calculation of that, it's right in the middle of Tesco's car park. Can you believe that? It also looks like the pond that's in the painting, that pond in the painting, if you look at that, is basically right on Hoylake Road. You drive up from the roundabout up towards the Birkenhead direction. So how different can that be between then and now? So I do definitely want to get in the car, go there now, and take a look at it in that angle, just to see if we can see the church. But I'll tell you what, before we go, let's take a look at the this second picture that we have here, which also has the church in the background. So some of the information I kind of come across for this painting with the same church in the background. Notice we're now looking at the side edge of the church, not from the corner of the church. So in this case, and of course we're a lot closer, and the information I had for it was for School Lane. Interestingly, we just saw that school in the previous picture, and School Lane here. And now you can see the road curving. This is how it is today, the road curving off There is a pond on the left hand side of that road which isn't there now. The houses are there now. Let's have a look on the old map. Yeah, if we look on the old map, there is that little pond there, and the school would have been right behind it, and another pond over the side. Maybe this building here is the white cottage in the painting itself, and the church itself hidden by this building and possibly some trees. Let's come back to that. Just curious to see, this is the old school that we saw in the painting on the map just off the painting. Where was that old school? Right in the middle of the picture here, just to the top of this cross. That's where the school was. If you know who lives there now or who has lived there, that was an old school. So now we've got ourselves down to Tesco. And roughly in that car park, the second bay of the car park. Sorry, on our phone here, but this is the rough angle. So just have a look at that for a second. That's basically the same view from painting to real life today. It looks a bit weird. Do you think I've got this right? I do. Maybe you've got a different idea, and let me know and see if I have got it right or not. So looking off in the other direction, the row of trees now, that's where the river runs now. Just between the trees and the railway line. And I'll look back to the direction of painting, but let's go off to that school lane one and let's see what's over there. Now this is, I'm guessing this is about that same location. Obviously the pond is not there on the left. Road going up and church. The church is hidden by the trees now. But let's have a closer look here at the church today. We saw a photo of it now. This is what it's like today. And there you can see the same flagpole on the top and on the same corner as well.